In the last movie, we learned the ways to mark our shots with in and out points in preparation for editing. However, what if you want to mark multiple sections of the same shot? All right, so here I am in my 4 bin and 4.2. I'm going to load Kelly here. And this was the section that we marked. And I'm just going to go ahead and play it. Press Option K.
When it comes to letterpress, I get giddy and excited.
Except right after that, she says something else that's really great.
I love that I know there's going to be a printed piece at the end that my client can touch and feel.
And so what if I wanted to mark that section too? I'll put an out point there and an in point here.
Yeah.
All right, you can see that my previous in and out point disappeared. So you can't actually mark multiple in and out points in the same clip at the same time. I'm going to undo that, Command Z, so I have my original one. And this is a scenario that's perfect for subclipping, which is what we're going to explore in this movie. All right, so I've marked this. I want to save it out as a subclip so that I can come down to other parts and subclip those as well. And I can either come up to Clip and make subclip, or just do Command U or Control U on a PC. So I just do Command U here, and I'm just going to call this one Giddy and Excited. And I want to talk a little bit about this box here. In fact, I'm going to create 2 subclips, once when I check this and once when I don't. All right, so this one I'm going to have Giddy and Excited restrict, and I'll say OK. And then I'm going to create another one, Command U, Giddy and Excited, no restrict, and I'll uncheck this. All right, so first of all, let's just come over here to the project pane where I have my new subclips. Notice that the icon looks a little bit different than a traditional master clip. And to show you this, I'm just going to create a sample sequence, and I'm going to do that by clicking and then shift clicking and then just dragging into the timeline to create a new sequence. And here's my sequence in the project pane, and I'm just going to rename this. I'll right click and rename, and I'll just call this subclip test. All right, and I'll come back over here to the sequence and sort of spread these out just a little bit, and we're all set up. All right, so we haven't yet learned too much about trimming, but I want to talk a little bit about it now. So I'm going to come up to my shot here in the source monitor, and I want to take a look at the section that I marked with in and out points. Now this is the section that I have down here in the timeline twice, but if we don't restrict ourselves, we actually have access to all of this area to the left of the in point and all of this area to the right of the out point. Now this extra material is called handle, and we can include the handle if we want to when we trim in the timeline. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit, plus plus. And so this is the one where I did not put a restriction on. So I'm going to come to that next, but let's come to this one first where I've restricted it. So for this subclip, if I take the edge here and I drag to the left, or I take this edge and I drag to the right, notice that I cannot trim. This clip is what it is. I don't have any extra handle that I can actually use when I'm trimming. When I come over to this one, however, where I did not restrict it, I can take the edge and drag it to the left and to the right. Basically, I have all this room here and all of this room here to trim. So it's pretty powerful, but it's important to be aware of the choices you make as you create your subclips, because there's certainly a great organizational tool. They allow you to essentially section out longer interviews into bite-sized chunks, which is great, especially for a project like this. So as I come down to another part of Kelly's clip, or when I load Doug's clip and I want to section out his sound bites in preparation for editing, I just need to ask myself, do I want to create standalone subclips that have a life apart from their parent master clips with strict trimming borders? Or do I want to create subclips that can link back to the extra handle that came from the parent master clips? I would venture to say that most of the time, giving yourself the extra room for handles is a good thing, so I usually don't restrict myself. Regardless, however, creating subclips is a great way to parcel out smaller sections of clips to organize everything the way it makes sense within your bins in your project pane.